Hey, good evening, good evening, good evening, millionaires, good evening, millionaires. Welcome to yet another edition of Good Evening Millionaire. My name is Amma Nancy. I go by Amma the CPA. We do this broadcast 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, right? All about financial education, financial literacy. Each one teach one, we can change the world, in hopes that it helps you get further and faster and with less effort. Okay, so Amma the CPA, right? That's me, right? It stands for Certified Public Accountant, which means that I am registered and licensed to help the public when it comes to different accounting needs. And I'm trying to get my screen situated. I don't know what is going on today. It's so funny. I'm telling you, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So, hey, good evening. Uh-oh. Oh, wait, no, that's the wrong one. That's why it's not. Oh, my goodness. Okay, let's see. Let's see if you guys can see me. How about that? Let's see. It's saying that it's still working on YouTube as well as Facebook, but I'm getting a warning message. Okay. Good evening, good evening. I see my sister. You know, my sister is the best. Okay, she be on every broadcast. Love you, Nat. So good evening, millionaires. Good evening, millionaires. So do me a favor, put in the comments, good evening, millionaires. Let us know where you are calling in from. We're just going to dive right into this thing. Let us know where you're calling in from. If this is your first time joining us, right, we always greet each other by millionaire. Why? Because, right, it's millionaire minded. Everything happens 3 times. The first time is in your mind. That's why we always say millionaire minded, right? The second time is on paper. You want to write it down and make it plain. And the third time is in execution. So good evening, millionaires. Let us know where you are calling in from. We always want to be in contact with our lovely millionaire minded family all throughout the nation. Right? It's so important. Environment is way more stronger than willpower. So you want to be in contact with like-minded individuals. So good evening, millionaire. Welcome to the broadcast. Let us know where you are calling in from. Also, make sure that you share the broadcast not only on your personal page, right, which is great, but also share it in different groups that you're in, because you never know, like, even if you are aware of this information, even if you already know it and you're like, I've been through that, right? Then you still want to share it, because you never know how it can help somebody else. So good evening, millionaire. Good evening, millionaire. Tonight, we're talking about building your credit even when you have student loans. How can you have good credit even with student loans? A lot of times people are like, you know, obviously, right, we hate paying debt, because who wants to pay debt? And student loans is one of them. So we have these student loans for years and years and years, sometimes a lifetime, okay? So many people have student loans forever. And you might feel like, man, how can I have good credit if I'm not paying on my student loans, if my student loans are not paid off? And maybe you have a couple masters, or you know, maybe you're a doctor, whatever, and you have all these student loans, and you're kind of like, I can't continue to pay this. Or maybe you're not. Maybe you just have, you know, whatever. I don't know. It's all types of degrees out here. So no matter what type of degree you have, we all have student loans, unless we pay cash, you know, for college. So whatever you have, I know you want to get rid of it. And I know you want good credit, okay? Those are definitely 2 things for sure. So make sure that you share the broadcast, put in the comments, good evening, millionaires, and let us know where you are calling in from. Okay, good evening, millionaire. Oh, if one of our lovely millionaires can put in the comments how they can join Dear Millionaire, that would be awesome. Put that in the comments for me, please. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Now, Oh, I should have said this first. Listen, millionaires, if you owe student loans, don't file your taxes until you are caught up with your payments. So what that means is this. Not necessarily, I'm not saying don't file your taxes if you have a outstanding student loan balance, because like I previously stated, majority of us do, right? You can have a outstanding balance, but if that outstanding balance is not current, meaning like you're in default, meaning like they are calling you every day on your cell phone, your home phone, and your work phone, right? And they are sending you letters and telling you that your student loans are behind. Okay, if your student loans are behind, don't file your taxes and expect to get a tax return. Why? Because they're going to snatch it. The government not going to give you no refund if you owe the government for student loans. Okay, I don't mean to laugh, but listen, this happens to so many people, and I don't want you guys to be in that situation. It's like you get ready to file, you're like, man, I'm going to hurry up and file my taxes so I can get my refund and start putting that money to work. Right? Because that's how a lot of people work. And I'm not, knocking anything, but so you want to file, you want to get your refund and start spending that money. But if you have not been paying your student loans and your student loans have an outstanding balance, they will snatch this refund from you and apply it to your student loans, and you will never ever see it. So make sure, if you have an outstanding balance that is delinquent, if you are delinquent, then you want to get current and then file your taxes. I don't care if you file April 15th. I don't care if you file October 15th because you put you did the late filing thing, right? You filed an extension. I couldn't think of it, right? But just don't expect to, if you owe your student loans, don't expect to, and they're behind. If you owe student loans and you're delinquent with your payments, don't expect your tax refund. So make sure that you watch this video, share the broadcast, and stuff like that. Okay, each one teach one, you can change the world. So give me a number 1 and a share. Give me a number 1 and a share. Put a number 1 in the comments and share the broadcast, please. So the first thing that you want to do to have good credit with your student loans is, if you're behind, you want to call and you put them on deferment, right? It's so easy. It's so easy. So none of us should be in the situation where we are getting our tax refund taken away from us from the government because our student loans are delinquent. None of us should be in that situation, because you can call them and put them in deferment. You just call your student loans. You tell them what type of situation you're in, why you haven't been paying, how much you think you can pay, and when you think you can pay. And just like that, they are deferred. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Now, the caveat to this is that they will continue to defer it, but interest is still being calculated on it. Okay, so don't think just because they're telling you not to pay, they aren't adding interest. So you don't want to get into the habit where you defer, because they are adding interest. And now next thing you know, you're paying $80,000 even though your student loans were $40,000. Or you're paying $160,000 even though your student loans were $80,000. Okay, so you don't want to get into the habit where you just keep deferring, right? But just know that that is an option for you to help you get caught up, especially when you start to work on your credit, because you don't want to still be in a situation where you have any negative marks on your credit once you move forward with credit restoration. Okay, millionaires. Number 2. Give me a number 2 and a share. Give me a number 2 and a share. Good evening, millionaires. Put a number 2 in the comments and share the broadcast, please. Make sure that you not only share it on your personal page, but you also share it in different groups that you are in. Okay, so number 2, work out a payment plan with your student loan provider. Now, this is probably one of the best things that I can tell you guys, right? A lot of people don't know this, so please listen up, right? This is what you want to do to make sure that you are really maximizing your money for your student loans, okay? My favorite accounting professor, my mentor, he was my counselor, he was my mentor, everything, right? Dr. David Caslin. If anybody knows him, please tell him that, he can reach out to me anytime because I can't find him. But anyway, so listen, if anybody knows David Caslin, Dr. David Caslin, okay, please tell him to reach out to me. So, listen, I got this trick from him when I was in college. So what you want to do is you work out a payment plan, right? Write this down. So you work out a payment plan. You tell them that you are going to stretch it out as far as it can go. Okay? You don't say it like that, but you ask them like, how far can I stretch it out? And here's the thing. The more you stretch out your student loan payments, the least amount of interest you are paying every single month. Okay, because the interest is the interest, right? So if you tell them that you're going to pay it over 30 years, and these are not like accurate numbers, so don't try to quote me on this, but just try to follow me with the math here. So let's say if the interest is 10% and you have it stretched out over 5 years. So now you're still paying 10% interest on whatever your principal balance is, right? But let's say but it's over 5 years, so it's kind of condensed. So every payment you make, you're going to be paying more towards interest and then principal because, that's why your payments are going to be so high because they want to get their interest worth. So if you call them and you tell them like, man, I really can't afford anything, not that much. I'm not making that much. My bills are tight, whatever, and ask them how far you can stretch it out. Now, you're still paying that same exact amount in interest, right, as far as the annual percentage rate. But now it's stretched out over like 30 years or 15 years, right? Maybe you do 15 years, 20 years or whatever. You stretch it out as long as it can go. And if you look at an amortization table, maybe I'll post one day and kind of break it down so you guys can really see it. Just thought about that right now. So you stretch it out. So what that means is now you're still paying that 10% interest, but now since it's stretched out so far, now your interest payments are less every single month. So then what do you do after they're less every single month is you double up those payments. So you pay double your payments. You don't pay the amount that you ask them to reduce it to. You pay it double. And then when you pay the extra, definitely let them know if they ask, because sometimes student loans will have a box like apply the extra towards principal. You want to always check yes if they have that option. If they don't have that option, then you just want to make sure that it's going towards principal. But just know that the more you're paying, you always want your money to go more towards principal than it is interest. So you want to find out, and the way to do that is the trick from Dr. David Caslin is stretch that thing out, okay? So that is like worth the cost of admission, which was free, right? So it's priceless. Okay, you see how that worked out? Priceless, millionaires. You're welcome. Okay, so now give me a number 3 and a share. Give me a number 3 and share the broadcast. So put a number 3 in the comments, please. Good evening, millionaires. If you're just now joining us, welcome to the broadcast or welcome to the replay. Make sure that you still participate by putting comments in the feed and also going back to the beginning and watching it. And make sure that you share it not only on your personal page, but also on any groups that you are in. Good evening, millionaires. Number 3, so after you do those first 2 things, now the easy part is you want to set it up on automatic payments. This way, you are making sure that you're paying 100% on time, right? Every single month. You set it up to where you don't even have to think about it because you know why? Stuff happens. Human nature happens, right? You're running around, you got to go to the grocery store, you got to go to work, you got the kids, etc., whatever, right? You have a lot of stuff to do. Everybody is so busy. So you want to set it up on automatic payment because you don't want to get into a situation where you set all this up and now you're late. Because every time you're late, now that's another ding on your credit. Millionaires, please listen to what I'm telling you. Okay, so just set it up on automatic payment, but make sure that you set up that extra amount. So if you stretch it out and they are only expecting you to pay $200 a month, you pay $300, you pay $350, right? And that's going to help you get rid of your student loan faster. But now, the main thing, what I was saying, because the whole goal is how can you have good credit with your student loans, and that's how, because you want to make sure that they are current, right? So that's the first thing. You want to make sure that they're current. You get caught up. You put them in deferment if you have to, right? And then you work out your payment plan to make sure that they are current, okay? And all that good stuff, because you don't want to be delinquent, because every time you're delinquent, that's another ding on your credit. And last and definitely not least, now you want to reach out to me, right? Or one of my amazing business partners and get credit restoration, okay? Whichever one you prefer, like a do-it-yourself method or an automatic method, because maybe you don't have time to, send out the letters and stuff like that on your own. But now is the time, after you set that up, because you don't want to set up your credit restoration, your credit repair, but then you're still paying everything late or everything is still delinquent, because now you're trying to work on your credit, but every single month it's like, positive stuff and then 2 negative things, positive stuff and then 3 negative things, right? So you want to make sure that you do the first 3 steps first, and then you start working on your credit restoration. So that is all that I have for you, lovely, lovely millionaires, this evening. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Make sure that you guys share the broadcast, right? Share the broadcast, not only on your personal page, but also in different groups that you are in. And then also make sure that you guys join Dear Millionaire, which is the world's first free text message service on personal growth and self-development. If somebody could put that in the comments for me, that would be awesome. It's super easy to join, and it's also in the caption of this broadcast. So you guys can join that tomorrow morning on Good Morning Millionaire. It's free Coaching Fridays, right? Where you guys can ask one of my mentors anything that you would like, right? This gentleman never had a job a day in his life. Okay, it has been building businesses, so you definitely want to tune into that and ask him anything related to your business. And to do that, I will post it on my page, but make sure that you guys join Dear Millionaire so you can check us out and you'll get the notifications. Also, last and definitely not least, make sure that you guys go to AmmaTheCPA.com. If somebody could put that in the comments for me, that would be awesome, millionaires. AmmaTheCPA.com. Put that in the comments. You can go there, and I have a very short video series on increasing your cash flow. Unlike any other videos that I post on here, this is specifically step by step on how you can increase your cash flow. A lot of us feel like we have an income problem, and you know this to be true because we go out and we get second and third jobs. We work extra shifts. We're trying to get overtime at our jobs, etc., etc. But you think you need more money, but really you just need to learn how to manage your cash flow. So that's what that's all about on AmmaTheCPA.com. So make sure that you guys check that out. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Again, AmmaTheCPA, right? Your favorite CPA's favorite CPA. Always feel free to reach out to me. I'm always here to help. Have an amazing, amazing evening. Good evening, millionaire.